heart to you. Freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you. Do what you promised to. And I'm so grateful for your love. And all my eyes have seen the wonders of your mystery received. I've tasted what it means. Now nothing else is good enough for me. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. You're all I need. Oh, I need you. Yeah, I need you. Oh, I need you now. Now I owe it all to you, giving my heart to you. Freedom becoming true. Nobody else like you. Do what you promised to, and I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for your love. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I need you in my life. I was living for myself, trying to prove my existence. I wouldn't listen to nobody else. But then time caught up with my plans. And when the day broke, it exposed me for the fool that I really am. But you said, let me lead you, let me take you by the hand. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We are live in the Lion's Den. I'm here with the fellas. We're going to do this. We got a lot to talk about tonight. There's a lot going on. We just had a huge market crash. There's a couple of things trending right now. One of them is Kamabla, and Tim Tampon is the other thing trending right now, and a bunch of other stuff going on. We got the UK going crazy right now with riots. Iran is attacking Israel. It's a lot, man. It's World War III talks, market crash, world's on fire. We're gonna get into all of it in a little bit. You're watching Young Lion TV. Share the video, hit the like button.
Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, everywhere I look, they're dying. Everywhere I look, they're dying. Young lion, won't you get up and start fighting? Everywhere I look, they're hiding.
Yes, sir. Young Lion TV, like we do it every Tuesday night, extremely live. We're here in the Lion's Den where we talk about everything that's going on in the world. The Young Lion TV podcast is a group of brothers, friends, sons, husbands, fathers, where we talk about life, man. We talk about culture, we talk about politics, we talk about relationships, but all through our frame of coming to Jesus and learning about a lot of the things that we were under, a lot of mistakes that we've made along the way, trying to help other young men and women, to get past some of those hurdles that we did a lot simpler by talking about these things and building a community of the Young Lions. And that being said, shout out to all of the community members that we have here watching tonight. If you're in the chat right now, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment in there, say hello, help the algorithm get going, because they do not support us because of the topics that we hit. So you got to share this video with your friends. Make sure that you know that we're live. If you're on YouTube right now, if you're on Facebook, Rumble, Twitch, Twitter, wherever you're watching from right now, make sure you hit that like button, share the video as well. Also, if you want to support what we do, if this is something, if you're hearing the conversation, you're hearing what we're talking about, you're like, you know what, I like what these guys are doing, I want to support them, keep these guys going, you can head on over to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/youngliontv, where you can become a member over there for as little as $3 a month. There is a bunch of different tiers there that you can sign up for. And you can hit us up over there and become a member. And also, we have our merch available, where you see us wearing the Grateful hat, and Simone's over there wearing the Jatan merch. You can get it on our website, jatan.com/shop, and support that way as well. Shout out to our cousin Jess, who was on vacation recently, and her daughter were rocking the Grateful merch. And she sent me pictures. I told her we was going to share it, so shout out to her. And all you guys that are rocking the Grateful merch, let everybody know, let the world know that you're grateful. Even in these hard times, we're about to talk about all the craziness that's going on. It seems like, doomsday stuff happening right now, but we got to remain grateful, like the Bible tells us to. And that can change your perspective on everything. It can change people's perspective around you. So shout out to all the people that rock the merch. But without further ado, I got my brothers with me in the room. Of course, I got the coolest Asian in the world sitting there rocking the Jatan shirt right there. He is Simone Chang in the building.
What's up?
I got to turn you down a little bit because James was there last week and he be
He likes
talking
to
far
talk.
away from the mic. And then I got, of course, my big brother, but he's everybody's big brother. Y'all camera is not centered today for some reason. Must have got bumped. But he is everybody's big brother. He is the preacher, the teacher, the people reacher. I'm sure he's got some word for us today. He is Mr. Jacob Eugene Evans III. I'm gonna straighten y'all camera out real quick.
Whose shorts are shorter today?
My shorts are a little bit shorter.
I actually think Jake's are shorter.
Are they?
Yeah, but you can't see him in the shot, so you guys are good. And then, of course, we got holding us down. She's back. She's feeling better this week. I don't have to switch cameras, man. That was so last week.
I know.
That was so
I saw
hard.
you struggling.
Trying to remember to be in the conversation and switching cameras with my left hand,
Not
and
easy.
also pulling up clips and everything all on myself.
Wow.
Yeah, that was tough. But she's back this week. She's going to be switching the cameras for us and pulling up everything. She is the best producer in the world. She's our mom. We love
I
her.
have my grateful.
She's grateful as well.
And we're grateful for you
We are.
when
Thank
you're
you.
here.
But she is Miss Angeli Lopez.
Steve said moon shorts.
Moon shorts are always shorter. And last but not least, I am the navigator of these podcast waters. I am, of course, every light-skinned guy with a red beard that you've ever seen on TV, or a white guy with a beard. That's who I look like. I know. That's what everyone says.
No Nephilim.
No Nephilim. Might have some Nephilim blood in there. I don't know, man. But yeah. You know what's interesting? Nah, we'll get into that later. But my name is Jamie Evans. Yeah. Because we were talking about the red hair thing earlier, and then I was watching something about Jack Parsons and Aleister Crowley and one of the sex rituals that they were trying to do where he was trying to impregnate a red-haired woman. Mm-hmm. He objectively wanted a red-headed woman.
Yeah, for the Babylon.
To bring in this moon child.
Right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Weird.
Who's
Yeah.
Lynette? Leverett, she wants prayer.
Lynette Leverett wants prayer. Please pray for me. Let us know what's going on, what we're praying for you for. Shout out to Steve Hansberger, man, our brother. We were with him over the weekend. Shout out to Jeff. He said, good to be here with you guys. Papa Jeff is one of our Lion King Patreon members, and he's definitely a Lion King. We love that guy. But yeah, over the weekend we had a nice little time at the Homie Awards.
Yeah.
Shout out to WSTW over there in Delaware. Our guy Mark Rogers, who has been supporting us for years, playing our music since By the River.
Yeah.
Had us come on the radio and do it, and he's been playing our stuff ever since. And they nominated us for a few awards, and we ended up winning for Best Music Video for Grateful, which was cool. First award of the night.
Surprising.
Yeah, we weren't ready.
We weren't ready for it.
We were all in the drink line when they called that award out, and I didn't expect to win it, but we won it, man. And it was fun, cool video. I'm glad people enjoyed it, man. And then we found out later we got Steve Harvey'd because they did the award for best band, and they didn't announce us, right? So we just kept it moving. We ended up performing. We made a lot of nice connects there. We connected with the other artists, the other winners, and made some, we're going to try to do some work together.
Yeah.
Some talented people, man.
Yeah.
But then we get the call afterwards from Mark. Mark calls Carter up and he's like, hey, man, just want to let you know, you guys were supposed to win for best band.
Wow,
But
really? That's what happened?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even know.
He said for some reason they didn't read your name. And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Huh.
Because I was going to use, if we did win like that award or Song of the Year, I was going to use that opportunity to talk about the song and what it means and then thank Mark and all of that. But we didn't get the chance.
Yeah.
So, but we got to perform Grateful. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
Good response.
Yeah, it was a great time. Shout out to Courtney, our sister, definitely one of our Young Lion members. Steve said apparently they called Mark asking why there were 2 trophies. Yeah, that'll do it. So Mark, why is there? Because you were supposed to read both names, guys. But nah, shout out to the people over there.
Good,
No
good.
shade.
Yeah.
It was a fun event. They did a great job.
And for them to show love to the indie artists
Yeah.
in the area is amazing.
Yeah.
So shout out to you guys.
Yeah, definitely was cool meeting a lot of the artists from that scene. We're kind of always in our own little bubble.
Yeah,
We're just kind of
doing our own
we
thing.
do our own thing. So we rarely meet people like that. What is that?
That's a warning for the
Okay,
weather.
Blood.
can someone turn that off? Okay. Yeah, but that was cool. What was it? Emily Drinker
Yeah.
band was the other one we met. The R&B guy, Greg. Yeah, I pulled up his stuff. He was very Gary Clark Jr.
Really?
Because he told me when we were there, he's like, I do more like blues rock stuff. He was like, I just did an R&B album and put that out, but my stuff is more blues rock. But he said he wanted to collab on some stuff. He's really good guitar player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he win like 4 or
He
5 awards?
won like 4. Well, I know he took one home for Jim Salamone too, but he definitely won a bunch of awards.
he was mad cool.
Yeah, he was. Well, everybody was cool, man. It was a fun night. And shout out to your wife and brother-in-law and sister-in-law for coming, checking us out. But yeah. So share the video, guys. Hit the like button. Let's get into some topics. So first things first, we got to get into all of the stuff, the drama, the stuff going on with we didn't get into any of this last week because we were talking about relationship stuff the whole time, but there's been a huge, thing going on with the elections. We have Kamala Harris pretty much being installed as the Democratic candidate after everyone voted for Joe Biden. And, to save democracy, they had to subvert it, apparently, which is hilarious.
For the greater good, man.
For the greater good, yeah. You have to install it. But she just picked her VP pick. You know, I don't know if she did, because I saw the clip of her calling him. Yeah, and apparently he's like even more progressive than her.
Bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he's on the next level.
I mean, his state is like,
Minnesota, yeah.
He's the governor of Minnesota, and man, some of the stuff he was talking about, just where he stands on abortion, all that stuff is far left.
Yeah, even like
he's more. I heard like one thing. He's more abortion than Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah. He's way to the left. He's way to the left, and I think maybe she was doing that. Like her strategy is to do that to capture, because they were floating remember the Pennsylvania leaked that video where they were saying Josh Shapiro was going to be the VP pick.
I thought it was going to be Shapiro,
but I think a lot of people said that they put that out there on purpose to test the waters and see what the reaction would be, because Josh Shapiro is a Jew, and on the left right now, it's very unpopular to be a Jew.
Right.
Like they are totally anti-Israel right now. So I think they're worried about losing a huge portion of their supporter base, especially the like the pro-Hamas people and all the Israel protesters out there.
Well, this dude, man, like I saw some stuff that he stands for. A couple bills that he passed. One of it was putting tampons in boys.
You remember what I said? Why he was trending? Tim Tampon. That was trending on Twitter.
Yeah, and the other thing I think he just passed was legalizing illegals to have
driver's license.
Yeah. Yep. And really proud of it. Mm-hmm. Really proud of talking about abortions and late term abortions and stuff like that. It's like all in the name of women's rights.
Yeah, I mean, this dude. Take a look at this right here. This video right here. This is this guy. This is how to the left this guy is. Oh, let me unmute this.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute.
Is it?
There, that's better.
So this guy swapped out the Minnesota state flag for that flag that looks more like the Somali flag. Remember when they were floating that idea around changing the flag to the Minnesota state flag as like this flag that looks like the Somali flag?
Huh.
Remember we talked about that on here before.
I don't think
we
I was
showed
here
that.
that day.
Yeah. So he literally does that before he's getting ready to speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't switch to the American flag.
Yeah. And this is his wife right here talking about how criminals...
And having a chance every day. Like, how many chances do you get? My answer to that is as many chances as you need, which doesn't really please those law and order people.
So she thinks that
Is it playing on here?
might not be
I hear it playing
through the mics.
Yeah.
It might not be.
Do you guys hear
You guys hearing that
you
audio?
guys hear audio?
No, I wasn't connected. I'll play it again. But the Tim Waltz thing, you saw that. But I'll play the wife one just in case everybody didn't hear it. This is her talking about how many chances people who commit crime should get.
And having a chance every day. Like, how many chances do you get? My answer to that is as many chances as you need, which doesn't really please those law and order people.
Yo, why she remind me of Pam from The Office?
Look at that little face she's making.
Yeah.
So
she's saying, go ahead, Jake.
no, you go, because I was basically going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, what does she mean by that? Like, you commit a crime, you don't get locked up, or do you get reprimanded? What she mean by that?
Well, you know what they mean, because what are the progressives doing what are these DAs doing? They're letting them go. They're letting
they lock them up and they let them go.
Yeah, like a lot of these, especially these migrants that are coming from like Venezuela, these people have raped people, murdered people, and they're doing like 180 days probation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's who's the black dude, the conservative gay black guy. He got real popular. I forgot his name. Anyways, he did a video because he lives in like New York area.
Rob something.
Yeah. And he was talking about how bad it's gotten. Mm-hmm. He said that there's like Venezuelan gangs now. They're literally shooting at each other.
Dude, they opened up the prisons and sent them here. Remember?
Yes, they did.
Yep. He said that, they're just like you. This is why I have beef, right? This is why I have beef with New York, right?
Yeah.
Our old selling CDs days.
Yeah.
Right. We're selling our own CDs.
Yeah. We're not committing no crime, no violent crime.
I get locked up.
Yeah.
I end up being in jail for like 48 hours.
Yeah.
Something stupid.
For soliciting without a license,
right,
or whatever. Yeah.
Now according to him, they're out there, just selling empanadas without. It's like a market. They're doing whatever. They're committing all this crime. Nobody's getting locked up.
Yeah, they're allowed to do whatever now.
I'm selling my own CDs and I get locked up.
Yeah,
I know it's back in the
different
day.
time.
It's back in the day, but
So
yeah, that was 20 years ago.
So are they gonna let them all vote?
They're trying to. I saw in Florida,
cool.
they were like telling people to come to the DMV like mad early in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning. They were lined up there to get licenses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone else posted, this is, it says, here's the only 9 seconds needed to completely tank Tim Walz in any swing state.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. But
one person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand why people think like this is who Kamala picked. So you got to understand where she's at, guys.
I mean, I did hear that. I don't know how true it is, but I did hear that there's reports that like 12 other people turned it down.
They turned it down.
Turned down the position. Yeah, this is what I heard reports of.
Nobody likes her, man.
They feel like the word was that they said it would be career suicide.
And he's probably like, this is probably the only shot that we'll ever get.
Exactly. He's a goofy governor from Minnesota who does all these progressive things. Like he was out there.
How is this like helping?
Right?
I don't know.
Because it's just pulling you further to the left.
I know. That's the weirdest
helping what,
thing.
though? What do you mean?
Her win.
Yeah.
It's just, I see what you're saying.
Because
feel
it's
like
polarizing her. Because they were trying to make her more. I think they were trying to make it more like she was moderate.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like they were trying to do. So then you pick him, it's like, it just pulls her.
Right back that direction, even further.
Bro, everything that she's doing is kind of goofy. To me, it's like you have, who's that, Meg Thee Stallion?
Yeah.
Doing the song that she did, talking about, eating, that down there and, at a rally.
Well, think about it, dude. Like, how else was she going to get people to show up to that rally? Like, think about it. For the most part,
they probably came to see Meg Thee
Stallion. When you see a lot of the rallies that she was doing, it was not that many people there. She did that one in Atlanta that was supposed to be her big one, but they had Quavo and Meg Thee Stallion there, and
Quavo is
he's from the Migos. He's like the most unpopular one on the Migos, but also. Samantha, what's the girl? Is it Samantha Hernandez? She's a journalist. She was there, and she was showing how like right after the performances, mad people were leaving, and she only talked for like 30 minutes. It was a really quick speech, and then like all these people started leaving after the performances were over. But yeah, you bring Meg Thee Stallion.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
The outfits that she was wearing.
what is that? I have a clip of that right here. If you can show, so we can show it, Mom, for context.
The way that she's dancing.
She's twerking for
Come
freedom.
on, man.
I need everybody in the crowd to make some noise for Miss Harris.
Look,
Look at that. Like, what?
no noise.
Make some noise for Miss Harris,
Yeah.
our future president. Let's get this done, Atlanta. Let's get this done, Atlanta. Come over here and talk to y'all.
Yeah, you get the idea. So it's a whole performance just to pretend that there's this excitement around her. But I did see this article saying Kamala Harris has been busted for paying influencers and celebrities $20,000 to attend the DNC convention in Chicago.
For real?
Yeah. And I saw that they were paying people, like on her website, there was these ads to pay
was like
people
$150.
$150 to come to the rallies.
Wow.
Man,
I mean, they've been paying. Like,
Yeah.
they've been doing
Yeah.
this stuff. Especially like TikTok influencers.
Yeah.
They've been doing this.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Eric, man. He's in the house. He said, "What up, fam?"
What up, Eric? Let's look at
Eric,
this.
our cousin.
De Jesus.
Man, I tried to call you a few times.
Man, shout out to
Well,
Eric.
happy
man.
birthday, Eric.
Happy birthday, dude.
He just had his 40th birthday.
40 years old.
Yeah, man. I said, welcome to the club, man.
What's
And-
up, youngin?
And he had a surprise party on Saturday that I went to, which was cool. And he showed me he's doing sound at the church that he goes to.
nice.
The party was at the church, and he showed me the whole setup and everything. We were talking about that. It was cool.
Yeah, and then I found out his wife's best friend works with
Yes,
my wife.
Yes, because she was like, when I came
Yeah.
in there, she was like, he looks familiar. And I didn't think that, because everybody always says that I look like somebody they know. So I didn't think nothing of it until she said, "Does he sing?" And then my mom said, "Yeah." And then she said, "Oh yeah, I work with." She said, "I work with Leslie." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Small world.
Yeah, small world.
It's a small world after all. It's a small world.
But yeah, let's look at this video of Quavo dropping knowledge about trying to get black people on board with voting for Kamala.
Oh, that's Quavo.
Oh, and by the way, Kamabla.
Kamabla. What's that mean?
Kamabla was trending as well today. That is the nickname that Trump gave her because everything she says is blah, blah, blah. So she's Kamabla.
That's so true.
Kamabla. Trump is.
It was trending, dude. It was like number 3 trending on Twitter. I was like,
Trump is funny.
I was like, what? I didn't even read it at first. I just saw like Kamala's trending. All right, let me click on to see if there's any stuff to look at. And all the posts were like people making fun of the fact that Trump is calling her this. Like, yo, he's the best. But here's Quavo.
And you can't understand the struggles of gun violence if you're not in the field or in the heart of it. So one thing I learned about working with Vice President Harris is she always stand on business.
Yeah.
She stand on business.
Stand on business.
Yeah.
What does that
locking,
mean? Yeah.
Locking the community up.
Yeah. Locking up people for minor drug offenses that she admitted to committing herself.
What are we talking about with the gun violence? Like, where are we going with that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because, and then like, what is your music about?
Yeah. I can't even say what his music about because
I don't know what
listen.
music.
Migos, man. You know.
I don't know,
I
Nikos.
don't know, dude.
Man, you know. You can deduce what their music is about. But yeah, and that was the speech where she got up there and put on that fake Southern accent. I know you guys saw that.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
They all do it.
Yep.
AOC, Hillary.
She got up there. She was like, "And if Trump got something to say about me, he can say it to my face."
What did they say?
It's just complete pandering, bro. Complete pandering.
And of course, like Trump was Did y'all play anything about the what was the thing that he did for the
when he went to the
black?
I'm about to play that. Yeah, he went to the black journalist.
That's probably the rudest
Let's play
interview
it.
I've ever seen.
Let's play it because he was
From jump.
assaulted, and the thing is, Kamala was supposed to be there too. Kamala was supposed to be there too, but Kamala ain't trying to do no unscripted interviews.
Yes.
She ain't ready.
They're treating her just like they treated Biden when he was in the basement.
Yeah, but act like Trump is the one scared of her.
Yep. Yeah, because he said they're trying to say he backed out of the debate.
Yeah,
because he said no, let's move it to Fox. We already did one on CNN. Let's do the next one on Fox. Like it's not fair. Let's do it on Fox. She declines. I'm not debating him. Okay. But Trump is scared. Remember what the Breakfast Club said? He don't want that smoke.
He don't want that smoke.
He don't want that smoke.
Come on, dudes.
But let's take a look at this. This is from the Black Journalist Convention or something like that. And Trump went there. That's the thing about Trump that you got to respect. Like he knows when he's going into the lion's den and he doesn't back down. How many interviews has he taken where he knows it's hostile and he doesn't back down?
Yeah.
And then you look at
on 60 Minutes.
You look at Biden, Kamala, like they won't do it.
Yeah. He held his own though.
Yep.
He really held his composure.
I mean, none of them
he
would
was
do
Trump.
it.
Yeah.
Like none of them.
None of them would go.
You remember Nancy Pelosi?
Yes.
When she got challenged just a teeny bit.
A tiny bit.
Yeah. Like they
she couldn't
they
handle
feel
it.
offended.
Yeah. Remember when Hillary got challenged by Matt Walsh? Was it Matt Walsh? No, what Matt Walsh?
What to say? She would never do
No.
that.
Who was the dude from NBC that lost his job and the scandal came out right after that because he challenged Matt something.
I don't remember.
He was from the NBC 10 the morning show. He was the biggest dude on there, dude. And as soon as he challenged Hillary about the emails, she clearly didn't like it.
I don't know. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but
Matt
Lauer. Matt Lauer.
Yeah.
And I remember that it got leaked out by one of her staffers that she was back there flipping out. Remember? She was like, if Trump gets elected, we're all going to be hanging from nooses.
Yeah.
I want his job. A little bit after that, what happens?
Gone.
His scandal comes out. He got to part ways. We never heard from Matt Lauer again. Because he asked one question that she didn't like. But yeah, let's check this out. Trump, and he handled it well.
He did. He really did.
I want to start by addressing the elephant in the room, sir. A lot of people did not think it was appropriate for you to be here today. You have pushed false claims about some of your rivals, from Nikki Haley to former President Barack Obama, saying that they were not born in the United States, which is not true. You have told 4 congresswomen of color who were American citizens to go back to where they came from. You have used words like animal and rabbit to describe black district attorneys.
She's already framing the whole question with lies, though. Yeah. Like he never said go back to where you came from. He never said that Obama wasn't born in this country. He just said we don't know if he was.
Yep.
Wow.
And we still don't know.
Yeah.
We still don't know for sure.
You've attacked black journalists, calling them a loser, saying the questions that they ask are, quote, stupid
that's
and
not
racist.
true.
You've had dinner with a white supremacist at your Mar-a-Lago resort.
That happened.
So my question, sir, now that you were asked...
Oh, come on. Come on, X.
Now that you were asked...
Oh, let me try to reload this.
Man, that man has been attacked so much.
Yep.
That's all they do.
But he sit.
But
look
he
how
can
he
take it,
sits.
though. Like,
look how he's sitting there,
Yeah.
and he's taking it.
Addressing the language like that. For you, why should black voters trust you after you have used language like that?
Well, first of all, I don't think I've ever been asked a question so in such a horrible manner. First question. You don't even say, hello, how are you? Are you with ABC? Because I think they're a fake news network, a terrible network. And I think it's disgraceful that I came
like a lot of
The crowd
people
is enjoying
in
it.
good spirit. I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country, including employment, including opportunity zones with Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, which is one of the greatest
He didn't even
programs
mention the
ever
First Step
for,
Act.
Black workers and black entrepreneurs. Done so much, and and I say this, historically black colleges and universities were out of money. They were stone cold broke, and I saved them, and I gave them long-term financing, and nobody else was doing it. I think it's a very rude introduction. I don't know exactly why you would do something like that. And let me go a step further. I was invited here, and I was told my opponent, whether it was Biden or Kamala, I was told my opponent was going to be here. It turned out my opponent isn't here. You invited me under false pretense. And then you said, you can't do it with Zoom. Well, where's Zoom? She's going to do it with Zoom, and she's not coming. And then you were half an hour late, just so we understand. I have too much respect for you to be late. They couldn't get their equipment working, or something
Mr.
was
President,
wrong.
I would love
think
if you
it's
can
a
answer the
very
question
nasty
on your rhetoric
question.
and why you
I have
believe that
answered
black
the
voters
question.
should trust you with another
I
4
have
years.
been the best president for the black population since Abraham Lincoln. That's my answer.
Better than President
That's
Johnson,
my
who signed the
answer.
Voting Rights
And
Act?
for you to start off a question and answer period, especially when you're 35 minutes late because you couldn't get your equipment to work in such a hostile manner, I think it's a disgrace. I really do.
Let me just ask a follow-up.
She just said better than Johnson.
Yeah.
What did Johnson do?
Welfare.
That's what
welfare.
You forgot that. Because Johnson was just he just carried over the thing that Kennedy was going to do.
He was an open racist.
No, but what I'm saying is that even in terms of that,
Yeah.
Kennedy was going to do that.
Right.
So,
yeah. And then let me see if I can pull that down real quick, Mom. Let me see if I can find this other clip of him. That's how he handled the first question.
She made herself look really silly.
Yeah.
And really unprofessional.
Yep.
Very unprofessional. Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so then, let me see if this is it right here.
You have used words like...
No, that's not it. It's the same clip. Let's see if I can find it.
Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on...
Okay, we'll play this right here because this is what kind of spawned the whole talking points for the entire week, and a bunch of people.
I stand before you.
Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as
turn black. Yo, you can't beat this guy. She happened to turn black.
He does the hand. Black.
Yeah. She was always an Indian woman, and then a couple of
Which
years
is
ago,
true.
she happened to turn black. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
She has always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black woman.
I
She went to a
respect
historically
either
black
one.
college.
I respect either one, but she obviously
She went to
doesn't.
a historical
because
black
she was
college.
Indian all the way,
There's a lot of
and
white
then all
people
of a
that go to-
sudden she made a
Yeah.
turn, and she became a black person.
Just to be clear,
A black person.
sir, do
And
you
I
believe that
think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I
Republicans
really
have
don't know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be. There are some.
Do you
I mean, she framed that question two different ways. She said, "Do you think she's only on the ticket because she's black?" That is a fact. That is a fact. Like, that is an undisputable fact. Like, when Biden said he was going to pick his VP choice, it was going to be based off of it being a black woman.
But she's not black.
But what I'm saying is, that's the only reason she's on the ticket.
I mean, let's stop that.
No, but
No, because
she's been saying
Mom,
she's black.
Mom, my thing is like, I'm black, like, but I don't look it.
Yeah.
People we can argue about that. That stuff is semantics, like. So, but how she, even the fact that she wants to say she's Indian, and connect to that,
Identify with that sometimes.
She wants to identify with black. To me, that's like,
because she's both.
People can go too far.
Yeah.
And I know Trump's just trying to get her, a little bit, but I'm just saying, like, this is where we get in the weeds with stuff.
Yeah.
And we start focusing on stuff that don't really matter.
Right.
You know?
But it's obvious that she's like straight up pandering.
But
though. That's what he's alluding
Well,
to.
that's the part
You
that.
know?
But I'm saying it can go other places, which is where it's been going.
Yes.
After he said that.
Right.
That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
They're using it and saying that he's racist or whatever. Of course.
Well, I'm not even talking about that. I'm saying where people on his side are taking it.
Yeah.
You know, they're taking it to a place of just going more and more to like, see, she's been acting like she's Indian. Like, I just don't. None of that matters. It's the thing that matters is that show that she's a panderer and she's not to be trusted.
Yeah,
because that's the truth.
Right.
She's a panderer.
She stands for nothing.
She stands for nothing but herself.
Right.
And getting ahead.
Yeah.
That's what you see. She's always trying to get ahead.
And she'll use the Indian card when she needs to.
Yeah.
And she'll use the black card when she needs to. She doesn't really identify as either one of them, to be honest with you, because when you look at her real life with her husband and her stepkids, she don't identify as either to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know Indian people and I'm around black people all the time. I'm half black. She's not on, like, she turns it on when she has to.
And to be honest with you, I don't think it matters.
It doesn't.
You know what I mean?
But it does matter when you're using that as
Yes.
why you should vote for me.
That's when it matters.
Yeah.
So you can't do both.
Yeah.
You can't do both. And so I think that's what we have to focus on, because just like what's his name? Dude from Florida. DeSantis, thank you. Just like DeSantis' shoes and him trying to look like he's taller than he is.
Yeah.
Like, same thing.
Right.
That messed him up.
Bro,
it's a trivial thing, but at the end of the day, it's like the fact that you would play that game shows you're not ready to be in the position of leadership. Yeah.
No, if you feel like, no matter if somebody talked him into doing it, whatever.
Yeah.
If you compromise in that way, then you're going to compromise in other ways.
Right.
And that's what we got to see about Kamala. Because to me, Kamala's way worse than just wearing some shoes to make you taller in terms of how she acts and the pandering she does.
Right. Like, you see Trump in front of, no matter what audience he is, he's Trump. Like, we just laughed about how he talks the same way.
With the hands.
He doesn't try to.
She's black.
You know, even Obama would do the, like, when, you know, the joke when, like, he says what's up to white guys. He's like, hey, how you doing? And then with black dudes, he daps them up. Yeah.
Did you see the video where he did it for real?
Yes, I saw it. They did it a side to side. They did a side to side with the Key and Peele skit. But yeah, so of course, you know, Charlemagne has been he's been, for some reason, like, on the Kamala bandwagon even since Biden ran the first time, because he was openly saying on the Breakfast Club, if whichever Democratic candidate picks a black woman VP, that's who I'm voting for.
He's a racist.
Yeah.
Like, and he sees things, and I'm saying the reason why I'm saying that is because he's biased to black people.
Right.
And he sees things through the lens of victim. He says it over and over again.
Yes.
So I'm not just saying this. This is something that he shows us constantly.
And remember, we played the clip where he wouldn't openly endorse Biden on The View, and they were getting mad at him because he wouldn't say that he's going to endorse Biden because, you know, just for whatever reason, he didn't want to say it. But this is what happened when he was asked about Kamala.
These out, do you think you might endorse Vice President Kamala Harris should she get the nomination?
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely would endorse Vice President Kamala Harris. You know, I supported Kamala Harris in 2020 when she ran for president. You know, I was out there on the campaign trail with her. You know, she was the only reason that I voted for the Biden-Harris ticket to begin with.
Boom.
And, you know, we have our, disagreements on air and off air. But I think that, you know, she is the perfect person, you know, to be to fight in these unprecedented times. Right?
And why? Because she's a black woman. He's openly said that. Because she's a black, to him, she's a black woman. And I heard him even, like, get into it with Andrew Schultz, with everybody. But listen to when they asked him about the debate that's happening in the black culture about if she's really black, or, like, because, you know, there's this whole movement. We talked about it on here before, where it's like foundational black people, or ADOS is another thing that they call it, where it's like African descendants of slaves, because there's a difference between people who came up through slavery in America, who survived through Jim Crow and all of that, and now are those black people that are trying to get ahead here, as opposed to someone who comes from Africa or someone who comes from the West Indies who didn't have the same experience, but they want generationally, but they want to lump everybody into the same category. And it seems that every time they prop up someone for the black community to look up to, Obama being one of them, his father's from Kenya. He grew up with a white mom in Hawaii. He didn't really live the black experience. So a lot of people are saying he's not ADOS. He doesn't really, this is why he didn't have a real, like skin in the game to help black people in any real way, because he doesn't really identify with the cause. Same thing with Kamala. And Kamala has openly said in interviews before, I'm not doing nothing that's just going to specifically benefit black people. She said that.
Her own words.
And why? Her father is from Jamaica, but he also identifies as a guy who's a descendant from an Irish man who was a slave owner. And people are questioning even if he identifies as a black man from Jamaica. Like, people could be from Jamaica and not be black. You know what I'm saying? And her mother is from India, and she grew up in Canada. So there is this, like, she doesn't really identify with.
Did you say an Irishman?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Brendan.
Shout out to Brendan,
another Irishman.
Yeah, one of our boys. Nothing wrong with Irishman.
That was a good. That was a good
Nothing wrong with Irishmen. But anyway, so that debate has been happening in the black community. A lot of people are saying like, yo, she's not one. She ain't. They not like us. You know what I mean? Even though they're trying to prop her up as like us. Even with the BET Awards, remember she said they not like us. And a lot of people was like, yo, she not like us. Yeah. But this is what, after Trump said that, and then the debate happened. This is Charlemagne on CNN trying to do damage control, and watch how he tries to deflect this.
Backing away from the controversy, today he went online. He shared a photo of Harris wearing a sari in a family photo, and he writes about it. Your warmth, friendship, and love of your Indian heritage are very much appreciated. Okay, so that's what he did today. Let me just ask it to you this way, though, Charlemagne. Does he deserve...
Trump is a troll, by the way. So after he said that, he posted that picture of her wearing a sari and a dot on her head.
Credit, as he says, for showing up at the Black Journalists event yesterday.
Peace, Aaron. How are you, first and foremost? No, does he deserve credit? No, he doesn't deserve credit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn about any of this, and neither should you. Like, nobody in the media should care. Donald Trump doesn't have any new tricks. He focuses on identity. He focuses on race. He focuses on gender. He makes white America think that the changing demographics of this country are a threat to their livelihood, and he makes them believe if we don't take things back to the way they were, probably 1950 something, then America as they know it will be ruined. It's just a distraction. Like, Public Enemy had a album called Fear of a Black Planet. Trump tries to scare people with the fear of a black and brown America, and we have to stop falling for it. Like, we just have to stop falling for it.
All right,
like,
so so today, though,
kind of crazy.
That
he even like.
So now he doesn't want to talk about the race thing at all.
But
it's a distraction.
The fact that he even says that and is just blatantly and just lying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
first of all, who asked him about the race thing? He didn't bring that up.
Yeah.
Like, I could see if Trump went in there like just saying Kamala's not black.
Yeah.
And dropped the mic and walked away. Like, no, she asked him about that.
Mm-hmm.
The race thing is being brought up by y'all all the time.
Yeah.
You got done saying how
card.
you only voted for Biden because Kamala was a black woman. So now all of a sudden the race thing is a distraction.
Yeah.
It can't be both.
So, you talk about it. You tackled it on your show because it's out there. People are talking about it. One of your callers actually called in and said something about it that I wanted to play for everyone so you could explain sort of how this makes you think and feel. Here's the caller.
Man, to be honest, Camilla Harris, she already said that.
Camilla. Yo, I love it. I love it when black people mispronounce her name because they always say it's a white supremacist thing.
Yeah.
Like, they always try to say like this is the RNC talking point to mispronounce her name. Yo, black people mispronounce her name all the time.
She wasn't black. It's all over everything. She done had interviews. Yeah. I
See how he corrected her?
She already said that she's not black. She identifies as an Indian. When she was running and she did all of that in California. Yes, she has.
No, she hasn't.
Yes, she has.
Listen, have you ever read her book?
No, I don't. I won't. Say what now?
In her book, she specifically talks about how her mom
They're so
definitely instilled her Indian heritage in her, but also told her she was a black woman and raised her to be a proud black woman.
She also told y'all that she got bused to school during the civil rights movement, even though she was living in Canada at the time.
I was that little girl.
Yeah, she also told y'all that she smoked weed in college listening to Tupac and Biggie. Like, come on. Like, so just because you read it in her book means that it's the truth? Stop it, Charlamagne. Come on.
The interview, she has a verbal interview with a white woman, and she says that she is not black. She is Indian.
Look at him shaking his head.
Lord have mercy.
So what do you do about that?
What do I do? Is I tell everybody not to be distracted, and I would say the same thing to the vice president. All the vice president has to do is stay on message. All these conversations about what's black, who's black, forget all that. How you gonna put money in people's pockets? How you gonna keep people safe? That's what both candidates need to be talking about over the next 95 days.
But here's the problem, and people have done this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to do it right now. Kamala Harris has no plan. Her entire thing is we can't elect Trump. Like even on her website, let me see. I'm gonna try to pull up her website. People are saying that she has no policy. If she might have changed it by now because everybody was pointing this out, there's no policy on there at all. It's just about donate, stop Trump. That's it. I'm gonna try to pull it up. Let me see.
And she has no track record either. Well, she does a terrible job at the border. As the border
czar. They try to tell us she's not. KamalaHarris.com. Okay, pull it up, Mom. Let's see. First landing page is, with your help, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz are ready to win the election. And then it's about, you can subscribe or you can donate, of course. Let's win this.
Uh-oh. Theris and Don Estrada is in the house, and I don't know about Don, but I know Theris supports Kamala.
Oh, well, listen.
Let us know why.
Let's see. She's devoted her career to fighting for people. This is her bio, 2013. Work with us, terms. There's nothing on here
plan
about her policy that she wants to implement. It's all about just orange man bad,
Pictures
beat Trump.
looking up in the sky with a flag behind her.
And now she's added Tim Walz to it.
He has plans.
Yeah, he's got plenty of plans.
He has plenty of plans that he's implemented.
Tampons
already.
in the boys' bathroom. Yeah. That's one of them. And
driver's license for all
illegal immigrants.
Sarah says women's rights.
Women's rights.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What rights don't women have? Rights. Are we talking about women's productive rights or reproductive rights? Because that's a loaded thing anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, that is a spell. Women's reproductive rights is a spell term, catch-all, to try to get women emotional about what is a controversial topic. When should you be allowed to?
It's really just
get
about
rid of
abort
a
a
baby.
baby.
Yeah, abort it. It's about abortion.
Yeah.
Killing a baby.
Yeah,
it's about killing a baby.
Yeah,
because we gotta say what
about babies' rights?
Yeah.
What about babies' rights?
What about not killing innocent children?
Because her running mate is for. I don't know how true it is because I didn't dig, but X said that it's like late. He is for late term.
You talking about Tim Walz?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his hashtag now?
Tim Tampon.
Tim Tampons?
Yeah.
Hashtag Tim Tampons.
He's trending for that.
Sarah says she went to Howard.
Yeah, that doesn't. Anybody could go to Howard.
I know.
Yeah. I know people who went to Howard that I would never trust them with anything.
Listen, I love Penn State, and there was some pedo things that went on in Penn State.
Right.
But then she also says she's feeling her out, and her son likes Trump.
What was the who's the one that ran for president that went to college with the fake scholarship saying she was Native American?
The lady
Warren?
Right?
Yeah, Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it benefits you to say, "Oh, I'm going to college as a black woman." It benefits you if you're going to go to Howard. You can get any type of financial aid. You can get any type of grants or anything like that. It benefits you to lean into that for that. But that's not the point. Anybody can do that. The point is, does she really care about those things? And from her track record as a prosecutor in California, you clearly see that she doesn't. I mean, I can. There's people that have made.
I'm sorry. I just want to bring this if I forget. Donnie says, now let's pull up Trump's policy.
Trump's policy is all over. It's all over his website.
Yeah,
because I don't know.
There was a viral video.
Of course, you don't know because you never would.
There was a funny viral video that went that I think we played it on here, where the one lady was saying all the stuff that he might do.
Yeah,
and it was like all good stuff.
Right. Let's pull this up right now. So this is in real time. I haven't checked this. We're going to Trump's website. This
live. We live, Donnie.
Here, right here. Platform.
Ready?
Let's go to the platform right here. Look at this. I see a whole list of policies here. Right there.
Oh, Donnie.
Number 1, seal the border and stop migrant invasion. Number 2, carry out the largest deportation operation in American history. Number 3, end inflation and make America affordable again. Number 4, make America the dominant energy producer in the world by far. Number 5, stop outsourcing and turn the United States into manufacturing superpower. Number 6, large tax cuts for workers and no tax on tips. Number 7, that's a huge one. No tax on tips for servers. Number 7, defend our Constitution, our Bill of Rights, our fundamental freedoms, including freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the right to keep and bear arms. Number 8, prevent World War III. Oh my gosh, like that's needed right now. Restore peace in Europe, Middle East, build a great Iron Dome, missile defense shield over the entire country, all made in America. Number 9, end the weaponization of government against the American people. What?
Whoa.
Somebody running for president wants to stop the government from weaponizing itself against the people of the country? I've never heard someone say that before. Stop the migrant crime epidemic, demolish the foreign drug cartels, crush gang violence, and lock up violent offenders. Rebuild our cities, including, I mean, it goes on. There's 20
that's
points here.
That's totally the opposite of what this dude, according to his wife that went viral, saying that how many chances do they get? As much as they need.
Yeah.
Like you want somebody who commit crime after habitual offender, crime after crime after crime.
him and Kamala during the George Floyd protests were
funding
people who were openly destroying businesses and everything to get out of jail.
Mainly in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was involved in that too. Was involved in that too. And he's openly like I said, I showed the thing where he's replacing the Minnesota state flag with the Somalian flag, and you see what they're doing in those districts in Somalia. And then I saw a whole investigation on how they are how they're electing all of these people to power, all of these Muslims to power in Minnesota right now. And they're using a lot of tricks and ballot harvesting.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
forcing people to vote for people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You still there, Donnie?
Trump, one thing with him, with the abortion thing, like he actually is not like a pro-life guy.
He's not.
Right?
No, he's not.
But here's the thing. He doesn't want to have the power to vote on that. He doesn't want to have the power to enforce abortion on people.
Yeah.
He wants it to be brought over to the states.
Right, and that's what the overturning of Roe v. Wade was. That was the point of that, is that they realized that ruling was not constitutional to begin with.
Yeah.
So people acting like women's reproductive rights is on the line here don't understand what the Roe v. Wade decision did. It gave too much power to the courts,
government.
to the government to decide
To the
federal government.
Federal government.
Yeah, it's the reason why this country was set up is so that states can have their own legislative process. Every state can have its own laws. That's the way this country was designed.
United States
so
of
you
America.
you can decide which state you want to live in based off of what you believe in and what you want to happen for your family, your community, and so on. So if there's a overarching federal law that contradicts any of that, then it's overreaching and you're giving too much power to the government. So overturning Roe v. Wade just sent that power back to the states.
Right. And if Kamala says she's going to try to do everything she can to reverse that, which she has said, then that's a problem.
Right.
You know? Just on, and even her talking points, like just on a presidential level, like you're taking too much power. And we're talking about, like, I don't know how many times I hear people saying that Trump is going to be this dictator.
Yeah.
That he wasn't the first time. Right.
Right. That
But
never
now-
happens.
Now he's going to be a dictator. But it never happened. But what I see is there's a lot of finagling and taking over by the government through a lot of the Democratic Congress.
Yeah, I mean,
Senate, and
the fact that they installed Kamala the way they did.
Yeah, it was unconstitutional.
It's so unconstitutional.
Yeah.
And it's unprecedented. You know what I mean? For them to remove someone last second. And first of all, it's like, even the way they set all that up, for him to do a debate in June that's never happened before.
Yeah.
And there's no reason for that. You know, this is all by design.
Yeah, they forced him out.
Yeah. The fact that they put him up to be a president in the beginning, like, dude, we could tell back in 2020 that he was having issues.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty obvious.
Yep.
But yet, you still voted for him, whoever voted for him.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, it was pretty obvious to me when I saw this guy debating, like, we got problems here, with him.
Yep.
But nobody wanted to look at it. Nobody wanted to see it.
But Jake, people voted for him. Nobody voted for
Nobody voted
Kamala.
for her.
Nobody. She barely got.
They told y'all she's the new candidate.
She got maybe 2% votes.
She had 0 delegates. 0 delegates when she ran for president.
Yeah, nobody. I don't know, man.
This dude gave a breakdown of some of her history in California. Let's play this real quick.
Before you vote for Donald Trump or Kamala Harris for president, you should know this. This is Kevin Cooper. Kevin Cooper was hours away from a deadly lethal injection when his lawyers actually asked to acquire DNA evidence to assure that he was actually guilty of the crime. Kamala Harris and the office that she worked for at the time refused to turn over this DNA evidence, which actually proved that Kevin Cooper was not guilty of the crime. It actually took the governor of California to demand that she turn over the evidence. Once she actually did turn over the evidence, Mr. Cooper was exonerated immediately. Kamala Harris was actually asked by the New York Times about this incident. She said she feels really bad about it. That's a very large statement for someone's life.
So stop it right there. Why would she not do that?
Because she cares more about her political power and her record and her name than someone's life.
I mean, this is basic stuff, guys.
Yeah.
It's very easy. Because if she turns it over and things, and then who does it reflect bad on?
On her.
On her.
She was the prosecutor on the case.
Right. Yeah.
And what do prosecutors care about more than anything?
Their
Their
careers.
win record.
Yeah.
Their win record. They want to have
And ultimately
the
their career.
Yeah, because
Well,
that
not
reflects
all, but-
that reflects on their career. If you talk about any prosecutor in any state, that thing that they care about the most is that's why they do deals all the time. Because if they do a deal, it doesn't reflect on their win record.
Yeah. Y'all hear on the music side with Kamala with Nina Simone's
I talked
estate.
about that on here last time. Yeah,
Yeah,
she's the one responsible for giving that estate over to those corporate entities that own her estate now.
Yeah, the family don't own it.
Yeah, Nina Simone's family does not own her estate because of Kamala Harris.
A black family.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
that was all he said.
I mean, he said some more stuff. Let's bring it back up.
Was in your hands. Not only that, but when Kamala Harris was the head of California State's Attorney General's office, the drug labs that were being used to test and see if the narcotics were actually real or not was actually bringing back a bunch of false positives, which allowed thousands of people to end up incarcerated, even though the tests were wrong. Kamala Harris and her office never attempted to let the judges or the lawyers or anyone else know that the drug labs were actually coming back with these false positives. Did you know?
Mm-hmm.
And reverse that, Donald Trump did the prison reforms and got those people out.
First Step Act.
The First Step Act.
And the other thing she was doing, she was locking up parents, and she bragged about this openly, whose kids weren't going to school for truancy. So, and these were like parents who would drop their kids off at school, but then the kids would ditch in the middle of the day. And she was having parents arrested. Like this is the person that y'all are acting like is for the culture, quote unquote, as if that means anything.
So Donnie said, so just because he, or I guess he means she, just because she is a black prosecutor, she is supposed to side with black folks. No, that's not what.
No.
If you heard that, dude, you're not.
Yeah, she didn't follow.
We're saying that
any prosecutor,
when she didn't want to give over evidence that was showing that the dude was not guilty because it was DNA evidence.
She was purposely holding on to evidence that would exonerate a man who was on death row.
On death row, not even just in jail, like on death row,
because she cared more about her record than his life. That's what we're saying. It had nothing to do with him being black. No one mentioned him being black at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the law you should not see color with the law, right? It's you do the crime, you have to pay for it. But
you do the crime,
but
you do the time.
But this is not what we're talking about. We're just saying that if she cares more about her career than actually doing the right thing, and being integral and honorable.
Right. Which we know that that's true, because how did she get started in politics to begin with? I hope people know that story. How did she get started in politics? How did she get her first job in politics to begin with?
Oh, he was talking about the parents.
What parents?
Being sent to jail.
Oh. No, the parents shouldn't. Truancy laws affect parents in a way that is disproportionately the lower income people, because they work multiple jobs, and a lot of times their kids, they can't make sure that they're at school. But you shouldn't be locking them, putting them in prison for that. Like, she was openly pushing this policy to put people in prison for truancy. No one's ever done that before. That's the point with the truancy thing. And of course, people were showing this clip of her with Mindy Kaling. Have you guys ever seen this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be like, how could you call her by her first name? She's worked so hard. Okay, so what we're going to cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you are Indian.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't know that everybody knows that, but I find that wherever I go and I see Indian people at the supermarket, on the street, everyone's like, you know Kamala Harris is Indian, right? It's like the thing we're so excited about, to have you running for president.
Yeah.
So we're both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes. You look like the entire one half of my family.
Okay, thank you.
You do.
I've been telling people
You
we're
do.
related already,
Yeah.
so this is perfect. It's basically true. And so were you raised eating South Indian food?
South Indian food.
Okay, I won't call you on.
Okay.
And I was there with Jay Moore and Charlemagne the God, and I was about to head out of town to meet my family and cook for Thanksgiving. I won't mention where I was going, but where I was going, I knew I was not going to be able to find the kind of greens there that I could get here. And so, yes, that was me. in my suit and heels, walking through Charleston International Airport, carrying 2 big plastic bags full of fresh South Carolina collard greens.
Yo,
This is
yo. If you guys can't see that's pandering, come on, man.
But then people were
I make better greens than her.
But then people were like, but this is her on with her husband on her real cooking show.
To roast chicken. Douglas, will you grate pepper in here? Rosemary leaves off of here. Oh, 3 times as much. Lemon.
I bet you
Okay, so yeah, now if you can just peel them, honey. Salt, the chopped herbs, the lemon zest, the minced garlic. Spoon all this. As this roasts, this is all gonna just get fragrant. Bring it around the legs. Tie that little bad boy up. There's our chicken.
And it's still there.
Come on,
Where
black
the
people.
seasoning
Come
at?
on, black people.
Where
Y'all
the
know
where
y'all
the
ain't inviting
seasoning
her
at?
to the barbecue. Come on, man.
Where them seasons at?
Y'all know she would be canceled.
Come on, man.
There ain't no seasoning on that bird. Bro, I've seen too many black influencers on TikTok roasting people's cooking and talking about white people don't season their food. That chicken ain't seasoned. Mom, pull this up, please. Look at this bird in the oven.
It's got a lot of herbs.
That bird is not seasoned, boy.
Got a lot of herbs.
Look at her walking with her little husband. Uh-huh.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that life.
It ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong,
but just be
stop,
you.
Yeah,
Be
stop acting like
you.
you know.
Yep.
She's talking about, her greens are so good she had to wash them in the bathtub.
Yeah.
Come on.
I have that clip too. Yeah. She's talking about that. And
I mean, we could go on, dude. It's just the pandering.
It's the pandering, man. The phoniness.
Pandering.
Stop falling for that, man.
But that's the thing. It's but then you have people say oh, no one cares about that. But let's watch this video. Pull this up, Mom.
Let me ask you a question. Would you vote for?
Yeah.
Why?
I'm going to just be real honest with this. She's a black woman.
Yeah.
I hear that way too much.
Not Kim folk.
You know how many people I hear that
I
from?
hear that way too much.
You know, so you can't say that it doesn't matter. You can't say it's a distraction. You can't say that it's not done on purpose. They literally picked her for Biden because she was a black woman, because they wanted to secure up that vote with Biden, because they thought that black people didn't want to vote for an old white man, even if it was Obama's granddaddy. You know what I mean?
Obama's granddaddy.
But
I think it goes back to what somebody was saying, where it's not voting for someone, but majority will vote for somebody else just.
Hold on. Let me line this out.
I think
Is
majority.
it only because she a black woman?
Yeah.
Do you not see how that's a bad idea?
Elaborate.
Okay, so we're in 3 proxy wars with some of the most powerful leaders in the world. She failed at the border, in which we have an estimation of 15 to 20 million people illegally into this country. That is literally overtaking and bankrupting Chicago to the tune of over $400 million per year, and they are in a deficit. Oakland is going out of business. San Francisco, ditto. California, $65 billion deficit. New York, they're literally cutting trash, in which they are the rattiest, dirtiest city, and they've taken up resources as far as free healthcare, free hotels to the tune of $600 a day. They're literally taking over your schools. Your taxpayer dollars are going to fund the migrant crisis. She was supposed to be in charge of this. We have a failing economy. Every single day I see people getting on the internet talking about $30 an hour is the new minimum wage, because inflation is fucking out of control. At one point, it was at almost 10%, depending on what city that you in. She has no policy, no record to stand on. One of the biggest things that she did in her career was lock up more black men than ever before. But we sitting here and vote her in office on identity politics. The very person that she was under as far as the president of the United States of America, she called him racist during a debate, which shows you how fake she is. And the only thing that we can stand on from a policy perspective is whether or not she's black and she's a woman. We did that during the Obama administration, and he didn't do anything for black people. As a matter of fact, y'all complain because the only person that he did, or the only group of people that he really stood for, is the alphabet community, and that's his landmark thing that he's still standing on today. So the only thing that we have to stand on is identity politics. That shit didn't work with Tiffany Henyard in Dayton, Illinois. It didn't work with Karen Bass. It didn't work with Lori Lightfoot in Chicago.
Do y'all know anything about the Tiffany Henyard case?
No.
Bro, that is a nightmare. This lady has been stealing money from the people in Dalton, Illinois for a while. Like, it's crazy. The FBI are investigating her right now. And she got voted in because she was a young black woman, single mother. You know what I mean?
I don't understand this. Now he's saying, don't you think folks are voting for Trump or not voting for Trump because he's white? I don't understand that.
Are you trying to say people are voting for Trump only because he's white? Because if that's the case, I mean, there was plenty of white people running they could have voted for besides Trump.
I mean, of course, there's probably people.
And he also said a conversation is pointless.
I mean, there might be people voting for Trump because he's white, but it's not being said.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the point. You can only combat what's being said and what's being pushed.
And what people like, this girl literally said out of her mouth, "I'm only voting for her because she's a black woman."
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, you know nothing about what she's going to do for the country, what her policies are, how much further do you think into a recession do you think she's going to bring us if she's going to continue the same policies that Biden's been doing? But if only because she's a black woman you're going to vote for her, that makes no sense. That's irrational behavior.
Yeah. If people are voting for Trump and they don't say it only because he's white, it's still irrational.
Yeah.
Like, just because one side does it and the other side, and then you can say the other side does it. Like, they're both wrong. Like, you got to see that it's bias either way.
Yeah.
You got to see that it's prejudice either way, right? You're prejudging, and it's a very superficial way of judging.
And the difference is the Democratic Party always uses identity to capture the vote of the black people.
Yeah.
They always do it. And we always fall for it.
Every 4 years.
And it's when are we going to stop falling for it?
Mm-hmm.
When are we going to just stop giving up our vote? How does a party get 97% of the black woman vote? That should not happen. That's crazy. That doesn't happen in any other demographic in the world.
But it's feelings.
Exactly.
It's feelings. Because you can't really tell me, like, if we sit down and talk about it, like, most of especially women, don't really even know, like, this woman, she didn't know really why, except for she's black.
Yep.
Oh, I like her laugh. I like the way she talks. Yeah. I like, you know what I mean? Like, but you got to give me some.
I like her laugh.
It was kind of that was kind of a joke, but.
Yeah.
But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
You got to go deeper than that.
Yep. You got to. Because, there's too much at stake.
We already made this mistake with Trump. with Obama, like he said.
And Biden. Because the vote for Biden was the vote to stick it to Trump. Mm-hmm. We got to get Trump out
or
of there.
Get it back to normal.
He's a dictator. He's evil. He's Hitler.
Yeah. But that's what we're still dealing with. Every time I talk to people that are like looking at Trump and don't want to vote for Trump, they're afraid.
Yeah.
They're more afraid. They're afraid of, listen, if there are white, I've talked to black people that are afraid that there's still white people who are racist out there, and they're going to come out and they're going to try to rule over them in some way.
Well, Charlemagne kind of said it. They want to go back to the 1950s. I heard them say this before, like, we're going to go back to Jim Crow. Like, that is so delusional thinking. That could never happen.
Yeah.
Policy
wise or law wise, it can't happen, period.
Right.
Right. But the problem is even if at least people do their best when they hide.
Mm-hmm.
If it's out there, it's easier to deal with.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want it to be out there? Like, you just got to deal with it. What are you fighting from, a place of fear and hopelessness, or are you fighting from a place of hope?
I honestly think that people just want to see someone that looks like them in a position of power. They feel represented, and that's like just you know, a low level. I mean, there's a reason why. And when you hear about these focus groups inside the Democratic Party, they look at the black community as low information voters. They say that because they know that they don't really care about the minutia, you know, and that's why Umar Johnson is going on saying like, we're not voting for Kamala, we're not voting for Trump. Unless they come with some policies that's going to help black people, you need to tell us concretely what you're going to do for us. Like we can't just keep voting for people because you say they look like us or they're one of us, or we want to see someone in you know, it's historic. You know what I mean? Like that is low level, low information behavior.
Yeah. That's why all the pandering, they're trying to get you all emotional. Yeah, she's like us.
Right. Meanwhile, when she launched, I don't know if you guys saw this. When she launched, she did it in a very big
Hi,
way.
everyone. It's Kamala Harris. Each day, we are seeing our rights and freedoms under attack, including the right of everyone to be who they are, love who they love, openly and with pride. So as we fight back against these attacks, let's all remember, no one is alone. We are all in this together, and your vote is your power. So please make sure your voice is heard this November and register to vote at vote.gov.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Now on with...
Yeah.
You see the perversion?
Yep.
Can I get an
amen? On the drag show, Donnie said, why can't it law-wise happen? Sure, it can happen. Dude, like... that is the worst kind of fear mongering, to think that we could go like back to a time where black people are enslaved again, like, or I don't like. I think
what we need, like, you thinking in that way is missing the bigger picture.
Yeah,
we can go back into slavery, but it's not about color anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about color anymore.
Right.
It's about the elite ruling over.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we get caught up in this pandering, the more you're giving them the power.
Yep.
It's about us giving the government more and more power. Right? It's about every time we give the government power to open up all these different factors. Like, there was no IRS.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But now it's one of the strongest
arms of the government. Yeah. They collect.
They use it.
Yeah. It's one of the biggest 3-letter agencies. There was no CIA. There was no FBI.
So
there was no income tax.
That's a direct correlation to our tax dollars.
Yeah.
Right. How every time they set something up, you think, and Thomas Sowell talks about this.
Yeah.
Right. I remember he was talking about how he was working on something with Puerto Rico.
Mm-hmm.
And it was it was, I'm trying to think what they call it, but they set up some kind of government agency.
Yeah,
I guess you would say a government agency to deal with some issues that were happening in Puerto Rico with agriculture, right?
Yeah.
And he figured it out. Like, he figured out a solution.
Yeah.
They didn't want a solution.
Right.
You know why they didn't want his solution? Because if they got the solution, then that agency would be dissolved.
Right.
They wouldn't need it anymore.
It's just like we found out that all those people that were supposed to solve homelessness in California were making $300,000 a year, $400,000.
They don't want that resolved.
And it's worse.
If homelessness gets fixed, those jobs go away.
It's worse.
So their incentive is never to fix it.
It's to continue.
It's to continue it and make it grow so that they can then justify having more money.
Yeah. So this is the issue. It's more government. It's more government. It's more agencies, government agencies, that are going to continue to grow because they have no incentive to stop.
Yeah.
The only incentive is to grow.
Yeah.
If they stop, they're out of a job.
I saw Dave Smith break it down like this. Like, the government is in business like any other business is. Like, McDonald's, what's their main motive? Profit margins keep growing in size. Their biggest competition is other food chains, right? Mm-hmm. He said the government is in business to keep growing get bigger, more power, more money. Their biggest competition is religion, family, community.
Yeah.
So they have to constantly tell us we don't need those things because that's the only thing that competes with their ability to continue to rule over us.
Yep. That's love your neighbor is one of the that's like a foundational law for believers, right?
Yeah.
And when we give that over to the government, they're going to do a bad job at that. They're going to do a really bad job at that.
Yeah. Yep.
And what I'm saying what he said.
Uncle Denny.
What'd he say?
He said, if we were in Oz, who would Kamala be? LOL.
In Oz? Like Wizard of
The
Oz?
Wizard of Oz.
I don't know.
Wicked Witch.
But
go ahead.
Oh, that's probably what he means.
But dude, we got to see this though. I'm just making a plea for all the people who, especially on the left, because it's the left that has created more agencies.
Yeah.
Over
and constantly growing government.
And constantly growing government. And saying that it's for you, it's on your behalf, but it's never going to be on your behalf. It's always their interest, right? They were just talking about how all these congressmen have gotten rich.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Talking about-
Governor Kemp, they were just talking
Yeah.
about he was like in debt when he came in as a governor, and now he's like worth millions of dollars.
Insider trading is
Nancy
illegal.
Pelosi, she's worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah. So there's a lot of incentives with this, and this is, I mean, anybody can. I'm not even like mad at it, but if we don't do our job, and we take and give over that responsibility, that's what's gonna happen. I don't think it was ever meant for like a lot of these social agencies to really be. Think about DIFIS. What's the other one? Food stamps.
EBT. EBT, welfare.
Welfare. There you go. That was actually for the church.
Yeah, it was.
The
meant
church
to be,
was
it was
supposed
meant
to be
handled by community and the church. Yeah,
and I think the more we became selfish, we kind of just let that stuff go.
Well, it's easier to say like, let the government handle that,
but they're never going to do a good job.
No,
because they're never going to care
right
in the right way. They're going to check all the things,
That's
check all the boxes.
Worst place to go, dude. Like if you need disability or something like that,
Yeah.
dealing with the government trying to get help.
Right.
They look at you like
they don't want to help you.
Social Security, they don't care.
Yeah.
Anything government,
unemployment, all of
DMV,
that. DMV. Yeah. Everybody knows government workers are miserable.
Yeah.
I wanted to show this real quick because this is a flashback to 2011, Donald Trump on The View. Now, you guys are going to be blown away about how different it was back then.
Before he ran?
Yes.
And she likes me. She even put me in her movies.
I was just going to say.
She put me in her movies, right? A long time ago. And how much did I judge? Nothing.
Like they say in the
It was a freebie.
Did you hear her say, "We are friends"?
She said that? Whoopi?
Yeah.
Donnie, I love you. I'm telling you.
And they're trying to humanize him and
And
change
this is
your
now.
idea about who this
This
guy
is
is. Don't fall for that.
Trump. And she likes me. She even put me in her
I was
movies.
just going to say.
She put me in her movies, right? A long time ago. And how much did I judge? Nothing.
Like they say in the
It was a freebie. Donnie, I love you. I'm telling
So
you.
so who
And they're
changed?
trying to
Right.
Was it Trump that changed? Was it?
What happens is the media talking points changed.
Yes.
Who became the villain changed. Because you see it like even did you guys see how all the media jumped on board and started like they came up with this they did this focus group where they realized calling Trump and Vance weird worked, and everybody like there's a compilation of all the news outlets saying these guys are weird. These guys are weird.
It's just plain
weird. Like everyone's saying
so
it.
Weird.
They're just weird. Meanwhile, like all the stuff that they're like, they got dudes stealing purses that look like you can't tell which gender they are, dressed up as dogs.
The health dude.
Yeah. But they want to talk about what's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that Kamala picked, you know.
Yeah.
Tampon.
Tim Tampon.
Tim Tampon.
Yeah. Yeah. It's you know, it's just about trying to show that you're being manipulated. You're being tricked. Like, dude, even did you guys see, look at this. Did you guys see how even Google was censoring, like you couldn't search
Donald Trump.
Look, President Donald, and it wouldn't.
Yeah, I saw that.
It wouldn't.
As soon as you put Donald Trump should come up.
Who else would be more Googled than him? Mm-hmm. Look at this. Assassination attempt on TR. It won't autofill.
Yeah.
And then Facebook started censoring that photo with people that were sharing it. It says, you shared a photo that was altered. Independent fact checkers reviewed a similar photo and said it was altered in a way that could mislead people.
Come on,
this
Zuck.
photo.
Come on, Zuck. Didn't he just talk about not interfering?
He did, and he said that photo was iconic.
He said it was.
But there's a lot more
badass.
There's a lot more people that work
at play. Than him.
It's not just he's not sitting behind the keyboard writing the code.
He's not.
And I heard that Google like did something like a slight manipulation to the photo where they people were saying that they changed the faces on the Secret Service agents.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, like a bunch of weird stuff. Somebody was showing how they searched Donald Trump on Google and only Kamala Harris stuff was coming up. Yeah, it's you're being manipulated. You're being lied to. But then this on Amazon was not censored at all. The only good Trump is a dead one. Merch.
Oh my goodness.
Merch selling.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep. If you can't see, but then did you guys hear that Trump went on Aiden Ross's live stream?
Mm-mm.
Aiden Ross is like this one of these young streamers like Kai Cenat, one of these guys, but he has a huge following. And Trump went on the live stream. He interviewed him. It was huge. Hold on, this dude kind of breaks it down real quick. I'll play this.
So Aiden Ross just finished his stream with Donald Trump. This man, Aiden Ross, literally had Donald Trump walking out to the song Many Men at the beginning of the stream. Absolutely iconic. And I'm going to be honest, this might be the greatest marketing to Gen Z that I've ever seen from Donald Trump. At peak viewership, there was over 2 million people concurrently watching Aiden Ross.
2
live stream?
million people
What?
watching concurrently.
Stream with Donald Trump. While Trump was on Aiden Ross's stream, he also mentioned some other stuff like ensuring that Playboi Carti drops an album if he's the next president. Literally every single streamer in the world today was broadcasting the Aiden Ross and Donald Trump stream. And after the stream was over, Aiden Ross has now donated over $2.2 million to Trump's campaign. It is not looking good for Kamala Harris right now. Now that most of Gen Z is over 18 years old, they are a huge factor in the upcoming election. There was a lot of speculation on whether this stream with Donald Trump was actually going to happen because just a couple of months ago, Aiden Ross advertised a stream with Kim Jong-un and that one didn't even happen. I have absolutely no idea how Kamala Harris is going to even respond to such a move like this.
They were showing, people were breaking down even like Kamala Harris's TikToks, how like they're trying to claim that there's this Gen Z support for her. But when you actually go to her page and look at the comments, it's all bot posts, like all bots.
Yeah. I went. I never go on TikTok.
Yeah,
but Leslie she's on there more than me.
Mm-hmm.
She sent me something from there, so I looked at it, and then, dude, I scrolled one time, and the first thing that came up was like this dude who talks about politics.
Yeah,
and it said, "Why you should vote for Kamala Harris."
Yeah.
Why would that be on my
Yeah,
feed? You
yeah,
know what I mean? And
yeah.
then I was like, let me see if it comes up again. Another one.
Yeah.
You know, so they're definitely pushing
Yeah.
this in the algorithm.
But like he said, for Trump to go on Aiden Ross's stream, you know, and do that interview, and he talked about a lot of stuff on that interview. They talked about the assassination attempt. They talked about his policies, like what he's going to do. And then Aiden was asking him those jokey questions about like Playboy Cardi, and he asked him to look into the Young Thug case, because you know how people are saying that case is being like handled really shadily by that judge. And he said he was like, I've heard about this. I'm going to look into it. So it was interesting to see him go on there, and like, you know, he was on with the Nelk Boys. Like Trump is all over the place, and I think they're underestimating that when it comes to Kamala. Like she won't be able to do those type of things unless it's completely scripted or like completely friendly, where she's not going to get asked any tough questions. Because you saw when the dude asked her the question about the border. Remember how she answered that?
Yeah.
I've been to the border. He said, You haven't been to the border. No, she said we've been to the border. You haven't been to the border.
Well,
and
I haven't been to Europe
either. Yeah.
She's not good at, you know.
Yeah.
Trump is amazing at it.
Yeah, he's a natural at it. But yeah, it's a lot going on right now. I mean, like we were saying, in Europe right now, they are like rioting. Dude, they're chasing down people in the UK.
Yeah. They have like machetes and...
Yeah.
Well, I didn't even know what's going on there.
You didn't know?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up some stuff.
It's like Muslim gangs.
Yeah. They're taking over, dude.
Attacking British locals.
Yeah.
Yes, UK. I think Ireland. I think I saw something on X about how, you know how the there's like beef between the Protestants and the Catholics in Ireland.
Yeah.
They're actually standing together against this whole thing. And they were saying that it's been a long time. If Brendan's still on here, he might know more than me.
Let me see. It's tough too, because I know the prime minister is like siding with the Muslims, and like,
yeah, but they have machetes and they're
Because-
rioting and destroying. It reminds me of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Like
Again, because they have to. Like, that's the political thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
which is so sad.
All the news stories are saying, you know,
but
racists are attacking Muslims.
But then I see the people are posting how hypocritical it is. There's a video that went viral of these police that's going into people's homes, locking them up for saying stuff on Facebook.
Yeah.
When there's people,
I saw
that's attacking people with machetes and destroying pubs and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, they can do that over there. This is why we have to fight for our rights. Freedom of speech. They don't have that over there.
Yeah, they don't.
Let me see.
Can't find it?
I can. I'm just trying to find. I got to go on X because the news is not gonna.
Yeah, it's trending on X. There's a whole bunch of videos.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos where. I mean, this is one where they're they come up in the middle of a news report.
Community leaders have been speaking to the police as well because.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Fuck India, mate!
But I think, apologies for the language you're hearing, but a sense of the anger, I think you can hear there.
Yeah, Katie, I think Becky, I apologise. We need to
leave you there. And
they cut away from that real quick because they didn't want to show that. Let me go back because there's some other videos right underneath.
You were British. Yes, mate.
English, mate, I am English.
God bless you. You're live on YouTube. What do you want to say?
I'm a bucket to you, English man. It's about time we don't bucket to you and told more.
I don't know what that is. What?
That's a police car?
Yeah.
And they don't have guns.
Nope. Yeah. I mean, there's if you go on X and you just look it up, there's a ton of videos, people being chased down, people with machetes. Yeah, it's getting real violent over there right now.
Yeah, they're calling it a civil war.
Yeah. And then you got Iran dropping bombs, sending a bunch of bombs to Israel. Like, things are escalating, man, in a weird way. They know Biden is not in control. You know, he's too weak and feeble to run for president, but he's still gonna run the country for another 6 months. Like, come on, everybody knows. Like, where is he even? What is he doing?
I heard people saying that he's probably dead.
Yeah,
it's a conspiracy.
I heard that rumor.
I think Charlie Kirk actually said something that he had like a source that says that he might be.
Well, did you see the when he came out to was it when he gave that talk about stepping down and he was way taller than he usually is?
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It did look
few
really.
inches
He was
taller.
standing next to Jill and he was way taller than
Yeah.
he usually is next to her.
That was strange.
Well, they do the the face thing. We've seen
how they do the masks. Let me play this video real quick of Candace Owens. She been on a tear lately, boy. But she did this a great video talking about how the CIA used to do these ops to check how brainwashing could work on people, especially mass formation psychosis, something that we talk about all the time. The spell of constantly repeating a word, new language, things like that to get people to fall in line. This
Like,
was actually
weird.
a test that they ran. Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yep, it's weird.
CIA, back in the day, did this experiment where they placed 18 people in a room. 17 of those people were actually CIA agents, and one of them was just an unwitting member of the public. So imagine they pick you, you think that you're going into a room with 17 other people who are from the street just like you, but in reality, those 17 other people are agents, and they are conducting an experiment on you. So the person that was running the experiment showed every single person in the room a picture of a triangle. It was very clearly a picture of a triangle, and he asked every person in the room to simply state what they saw on the picture. Well, despite it clearly being a triangle, all of the agents were instructed to say square. So imagine you're in this room with 17 other people, you think that you're all off the side of the street, and they start going around, and everyone says, oh, what is that? A square, a square. What do you see? A square, a square, a square, a square. Well, by the time it gets to you, and you're the 18th person, you're going, oh, am I crazy? I see a triangle. And guess what that 18th person said? Well, they said square, because they didn't want to be the crazy person in the room. Really think about the implications of that experiment. That is exactly how the media works. They are the agents in the room that are repeating square, 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 square. until you're supposed to just completely abandon reason and just join them and say, totally, that's a square. CIA.
Yeah, and that's 100% how programming, brainwashing works. That's right. And they've been testing this stuff on people for a century now, if not longer. But yeah, you get everybody in the room and you just convince them that they don't see what they see, or they don't want to be the odd man out, so they'll just go along with the crowd.
I would be like, nah, yo, that's a triangle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more of an obvious thing, but there's subtle things.
Way more subtle.
A lot of times, and even in terms of emotional things that can trigger people,
Yeah.
Those are a little easier.
Yeah.
To get people outraged. So how do you judge that in the right way?
Yeah.
How do you see it for what it is? Because it's really about perspective, right? Or perception, I should say. How do you see it for what it actually is? And this is what we're dealing with. I mean, this is what we've been talking about the whole time, especially with the Kamala Harris thing and the race pandering thing, because this is what the stuff that they're pushing. You see the stuff, how the prime minister in London doesn't want to address it in the right way.
Yeah.
And you'll just see how the news, they're doing exactly what she's saying. They're pushing something one way so that you see it that way.
Yep.
And anything that counters that, they're not going to show.
Yeah.
And they'll try to keep it out of the mainstream as much as they can, because they want to push an agenda. Right? They want to. So what is that? That's programming. Right? That's manipulation.
Yeah.
They want to push you in a certain way. And that's what standing in the gap is. Like, to stand in the gap and to speak the truth in love, right? In love, it's not an easy thing.
Yeah.
You're going to get pushback.
Yep.
You're going to get people who don't want to hear it. You're going to get hate. But that's what we're called to do. We're called to, as believers, I'm saying, we're called to stand in the gap and say the things that are hard for people to hear.
Yeah.
But it's the truth. And even if they don't want to hear it, even if they punch you, even if you humble yourself and you take it and then you say it again, and then you say it again and you say it again. Because if you don't, and this is the problem with a Kamala Harris. What is motivating her? Right? This is the problem with, like I said, even the DeSantis, like with that little, what's motivating you is that you want to be president.
Yeah.
Why do you want to be president?
Right.
Right. If that's the end all, I want to be president.
That was one of the moments in the debate that Trump hit a lot of people with, when he was like, I didn't even want to do this again, but I saw what state the country was in. I was like, I got to do it,
Right. But what's motivating us, right?
Yeah.
What's the intention behind it? And then you see that. You see the heart. You see the point. There has to be more than, there has to be a hope. What's the hope? Well, for me, Trump, he has a hope for this country. He does, but you can twist that and say, oh yeah, he wants to take it back to when it was racist, right?
Or he wants to be a dictator.
You can always twist that. But that's what people do when they're afraid, right? That's what they do when you stand in the gap and they want to twist what you're saying so people can stop looking at you.
Yeah.
And they can stop hearing you. That's what people do, right? How many people say, oh, you're just saying that because of this, this, and this. You don't know my heart. You don't know why. Do you want to ask me why I'm saying it?
Right.
Do you care? No. You care about your feelings and how you want to feel about me, because it's actually causing you to rethink things. And you don't want to rethink things. You want to stay the same. You want to stay comfortable, right? And a lot of times we want to stay comfortable in the programming that they put on us.
Yeah.
In the programming they put on us. We want to stay there.
Yeah.
Right? We want to stay programmed.
Because we are comfortable there.
We are comfortable there.
Yeah.
It's easier. Give up your responsibility.
Yep.
Right? Give it up little by little. This is what we're talking about. The government. Bigger government. Bigger government. Bigger government. To the point where now you're a slave and you're wondering how we got here.
Right. But every step of the way was bigger government for more comfort. Bigger government for more comfort. Yeah.
It's a program.
Yep. It's a trick. It's a manipulation. So another thing I wanted to show, there was this whole controversy with the Olympics. We talked about it last week with the whole thing, but this week the big story was the boxer. With the whole context coming out, her father coming out saying that she has always been a strong woman. She was born a woman, but then it came out that it might be some kind of hormonal disorder thing. So the head of the IBF, I think it was the IBA, the International Boxing Association, he held a press conference and he talked about why they disqualified them from those two fighters from boxing. So I'm gonna play that real quick because he gave way more context. People were waiting for this.
There was a number of concerns from boxers, coaches, indeed the medical team, medical staff, the ringside doctors, regarding these two boxers in particular. Blood tests were taken, a gender test was taken as it was during the Women's World Championships in 2022 in Istanbul. At that point, I'm just going to highlight here. So on the 17th of May 2022, the results were taken. The blood tests were taken by a lab known as System Tip Laboratory in Istanbul. We can give the license numbers out, so you'll be aware of that. And the results from there were issued on the 24th of May. Okay. The tests were taken, and the results, I'm going to discuss this shortly, the results that were brought out were inconsistent. So, further to which, there's been a number of questions as to why, but we came about to the next female championships was taking part in 2023. So there is a time gap, but the reason for that is because we wanted two tests. So there's two tests required, not one, but two tests. Time gap between, and then to the next World Championships, which was taking place in India. Okay, so we go to the female World Championships that took place between the 15th and 26th of March. Both boxers entered the championships, and at which point, on the 17th of March 2023, both boxers were asked to take a further blood test. That happened, and on the 23rd of March, the results came through, and it demonstrated the chromosomes that we refer to within the technical and competition rules that make both boxers ineligible. And that was then further ratified by the BOD, our board of directors. It was taken there to remove both boxers from the championships. That was on the 26th of March 2023. We had a letter that Mr. Yarolimpos had put forward to the board.
So he goes on to talk about the letter that they wrote. But basically, like we were saying, like it was stated in the past, they ran these tests, these chromosomal tests, and they found out that these two individuals indeed had X and Y chromosomes, which made them biologically male. Now, it's not as cut and dry as someone who tried to transition into a woman to compete, but
both of them,
both of them,
because I don't know where's the other one from. I only know Algeria, the Algerian,
one of the Asian countries. Yeah. But you could see how, like, in an Algerian country, they wouldn't want to, like, because usually when they're born, in these kind of cases, they're born with like internal testicles or something like that.
Yeah.
But then they do the surgery to make them a female early on.
They go to the dominant.
Yeah.
Whatever one that's the dominant one.
But when you go through puberty, you still have those testicles. So you still have higher levels of testosterone. You still kind of
bone density.
You still kind of go through a male puberty, but so it's not, but the problem is because of all of the current, environment around a lot of these transgender athletes trying to compete in women's sports, it now makes this a bigger story. And in these cases where someone tests at a different chromosomal level or a higher testosterone level, they usually have to make them take some kind of medication to lower their testosterone to be able to compete so that it is fairer.
Even if it's XX.
Even if it's XX. Even if it's a woman.
Yeah.
If she has high levels of testosterone, they have to take something to lower those levels before they can compete.
Right.
Yeah.
Which wasn't done here. So it is, it kind of, people were outraged, of course, because they're thinking that this is another case of, and people jumped to that conclusion, and it did kind of blow up a little bit. But at the same time, it was a biologically male or intersex, or it's more of a complicated situation. It's not just a girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. Which is it's like point.
It's very rare.
Yeah.
And so to have two of them is even crazier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is, and you can't really put it on them.
Yeah. Not at all.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
It has to do with why did it get that far?
Yeah.
That's what's weird.
Right.
How to get that far.
Yeah.
And they're kind of not really explaining that.
Yeah. Well, you see in the Boxing Association, they deaded it. But the Olympics...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the Olympics just let it be, your passport says you're a female, so you're a female. They don't do the testing. They don't do the chromosome testing.
Yeah, but that's...
But safety-wise, that's where it's so unfair.
Yeah.
She's clearly way stronger.
Yeah. And looks way more masculine,
Dude,
too.
Like, and...
But hasn't she... They lost, right?
I don't know.
Before, they were saying that it's not the first Olympics or whatever. They lost before.
Yeah.
Still, though, yeah, there's something that even like they showed videos of Imani. The
Algerian.
Yeah, the way that she dresses and the way that she walks, from behind, it looked like a man's walk.
Yeah, and not only that, people were pointing out the fact that she doesn't wear hijab.
Yeah,
but like her trainer does. Like all these other women in that culture have to wear hijabs, even when they compete.
Yeah, that's why. Remember, I said that to you guys. Like, I saw a flag when this had just happened.
You did.
I saw.
And you were like, wasn't that a Muslim country?
Because I saw a moon and a star.
Yeah,
and I was like, this was kind of weird.
Which makes it weird. Yeah. But I think even not knowing how to deal with that.
Yes.
I remember watching a documentary on Iran.
Yeah.
Where they don't want to deal with homosexuality, so they were doing sex changes just to say.
That's right. I remember that.
No, well, you're just a woman.
Yeah.
You're not gay.
You're not gay. You're
you're
really a woman. Yeah.
Try to get all the gay population to change to a woman.
Right.
Because they don't really know how to deal with that.
What?
Yeah. Wow. Because how do you work through that?
Yeah.
Like if you don't have the understanding to work through that, you got to make it make sense to your lens that you see the world, your worldview, right? And you're not really prepared to see that.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna try to fit it. It's like fit a circle into a square.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those situations that polarized everybody. You saw, people on the right lashing out,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's another thing. Like, we got to stop being so quick to just jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing it's a man.
From credible, popular podcasts.
Yeah.
They were saying that's why I was like, how is the Olympic allowing this?
Yeah.
And just from plain sight, from looking at the fight,
it does look like
it looked like a man was fighting a woman.
It does look like that.
So
But that's why sometimes I'm like, all right, well, let me see what actually happened.
Me too.
That means
But when I started seeing that they were tested and they do have XY chromosomes, then it's like, okay, we need to know more to this story because they're not telling us everything.
Yeah.
But we don't, you could have that. You could be you could be intersex. Mm-hmm. You're not a woman though. You're not technically a woman. You're not a man. You're intersex. That is a real thing. Which is an abnormality. It's not normal.
Yeah.
But people just wanted to jump on it. It was like one of those things where it was like, well, our team believes this, so we got to defend it. Our team believes this, so we got to be outraged. And, you know, you saw it.
Yeah, I feel bad for her, like, you know, the scrutiny and everything that. I don't know. It's a
tough situation.
Tough situation.
Yeah.
You know, the fairness. How do you gauge that? Like if you're, you know, you've lived your life as a woman,
and you've competed as a woman your whole life, you've been a girl since you were little. You know, you went through puberty, and then you became more masculine than everybody. Like, how do you handle that?
That Italian boxer was like, I've never been hit harder in my life.
She quit.
Yeah,
40 seconds into the fight.
46 seconds in.
Yeah, she was like, I can't do this. All right, moving on. Let's go to some of the stuff you sent me, Jake.
Real quick, George Gutierrez said, prayer hands out for his brother. Just got done saving his life today. Went into low sugar coma. Got him out of it, but some scary times.
What?
That's Gutierrez.
Gutierrez
in Spanish.
Gutierrez. I know George.
What's he talking about?
Talking about his brother.
Prayers out for my brother. Just got done saving his life today. Wow.
Oh, he wants prayer for his brother.
Yeah, definitely. Prayers out, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep him in prayer, bro. I'll text you later.
So, Instagram video. Try to play it.
Changes happening in this country in the mid-'80s that conspired to, in the aggregate, change all of childhood. Stranger Danger was born with a made-for-TV movie, Adam, about the abduction and murder of Adam Walsh in 1983. Everybody tuned in for that show, and it scared the bejesus out of everybody. The Play Date was born in 1984. Parents started arranging play with other parents, deciding with whom and when, but also watching over it, hovering, micromanaging. Are they playing with the right things? Are they bored? Let me help them. The self-esteem movement. Give them ribbons and trophies, certificates and awards just for playing soccer or just for swimming rather than for being any good at it. A Nation at Risk was published saying American teenagers needed to be, more high achieving vis-a-vis their international counterparts. We needed more testing, more teaching to the test. All of these things meant that childhood was now watched and managed by parents. We also got safer in cars with seatbelt laws and car seat laws and bike helmet laws and bicycles. We got safer in our transportation. It led to this mindset of you can put a helmet on them always. You can bubble wrap every aspect of their environment. Prepare the road for the kid instead of prepare the kid for the road. All of those things happened in the span of 3 to 5 years. Very interesting.
Wow.
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
It's a lot of fear.
A lot of fear.
A lot of fear mongering there. Right?
Yeah.
And it's all about like being overly watchful of your kids. You know? Like because of being afraid.
Oh, being afraid, yeah. Something could happen to them.
We read this at church, but this made me think of Psalms 127. I'll just read it from here. Unless the Lord guards the city, the watchmen stay awake in vain. Like for us, so many people they care about their kids, they love their kids, but it's vain to do all these things and try to figure out all these things, right? And then it says, it is vain for you to rise up early and sit up late to eat the bread of sorrows. And that's what we do, right? We're so anxious over these things that we can't control. We think we can control. We try to control. And then look what it says after that. It says, for so he gives his beloved sleep. And then it says, behold, children are a heritage from the Lord. The fruit of the womb is a reward. Yeah. But isn't it interesting how we don't see it like it's a reward from God, but we're looking at it as such a burden.
Yeah.
And when we see it in that way, like now we become so anxious because we can't be grateful. You know, we're not going to be grateful because we don't really see it like, oh, God gave me this. So if he gave it to me, then he's going to actually watch over it, right?
Yeah.
So again, like unless the Lord guards the city, the watchman stays awake in vain. You're not going to be able to really do it.
Yeah.
You know? And the 80s, man, I know, and I think that was like a lot of that stuff was more in like the upper echelon.
Yeah.
You know, because I know if like for us, we were still running.
We were doing whatever.
We were running around, playing, you know, egging people's houses, doing stuff we shouldn't have been doing.
I was thinking about that the other day. How remember when the Jones Intercable remote would work on everybody's TV?
Yeah.
We used to go around the neighborhood changing people's channels.
Yeah.
And they would be freaking out.
We did some stupid stuff.
My mom was like,
look
what?
at she shaking her head.
My
Like,
mom didn't know we were doing any of that.
what kind of kids were you raising over there?
Yeah. But so yeah, we did all that stuff. And then we didn't get like, I remember we had field day at school.
Yeah.
You didn't get participation ribbons.
Nope.
You got first,
If you
second,
got a
third
place.
place.
If you got a place, you
I
got
think
a
they
ribbon.
started getting like fourth, you know, fifth place. Like they started going
Later on, yeah.
Yeah. But
the loser trophy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that.
Right. Even in soccer, we didn't have participation trophies.
No, we really only had the championship
Or if you were on the All-Star team, you got a trophy.
Yeah.
Or if you were like, you know, home run derby, things like that.
Yeah, right. But
Yeah.
we never like. So you fought for these things.
Yeah.
It was more competitive, you know, as we were growing up. But later on, I remember just like John, our brother.
Yeah.
We were 80s. He was 90s, and it already had changed.
Yeah.
Now they're giving
totally
participation
different.
trophies. You know, he's getting. We used to joke about it, like
Yeah.
this guy got a trophy for nothing.
Right.
He played a couple games.
Yeah.
He got a trophy. You know, so
I thought it was a beast.
Stop it. So it rewards you. So the reward means nothing.
Yeah.
Right? The reward means nothing.
You're entitled to it now.
You didn't
work for
recognize
it.
You don't you
Yeah.
don't see it as anything of value.
Yeah.
You know, and you even think about that, like having kids, having sex out of wedlock. Sex becomes devalued.
Yeah.
Kids become devalued. Why? How do I know that? Because abortions rise.
Yeah.
Right? Because most people who abort their babies, they do it because of inconvenience.
Yep.
I mean, that's just a fact. Right? So the majority of abortions are because of the inconvenience of having a baby.
Yep.
Which shows you that even that children become devalued unless you want them, right? Unless you feel like you're at the place where you want them. And I'm not saying everybody, I'm just saying as a majority in this country. So there's a whole shift where we value the wrong things, or we learned, or we were like pushed to value the wrong thing, right? Value our careers.
Yeah.
Value going and trying to chase after women to get them to have sex with us, right? Like that's what you value.
Yep.
But you don't really value sex.
Yeah.
Because if you did, you would put it in that place of honor, right? But you don't. You only value the chase.
Yeah.
So all these things get perverted, right? And you're doing all these things, and it's all vain. It's all vanity, right? Because you have no purpose. And then the next generation grows. You go to the next generation, and you have kids, and then it hits you like, wait, everything I was doing was kind of messed up. So now you're trying to overcorrect.
Yeah.
Right? But you still got that in you. You're still talking about, man, back in my day, we used to do, you know, you still got that in you.
Yep.
So there's no change.
Yeah, we also didn't have a ton of vaccines. Like there was a few.
Yeah.
But you saw that really blow up too. And I was thinking about like food allergies too. Like that was when we were kids. Like I remember being in first, second grade, kindergarten. Like
weren't that many.
There was, if you saw someone with a food allergy, it was like what? Like it was weird.
Yeah, you're allergic to peanuts.
Yeah,
now everybody's allergic to peanuts.
But because what did they start doing? They keep peanuts away from everybody. You know, and it just made it worse. Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
From their sins. This is why Peter craved the Catholic.
Hold on.
Powerful explanation of abortion I've ever heard.
You see, abortion is actually the sacrament of Satan. Because abortion says you must die so I can live. But Christ says, no, I must die so you can live. And chooses to enter human history in a uterus of all locations to redeem mankind from their sins. This is why Peter craved the Catholic philosopher. He said, don't you know, church, abortion is the demonic parody of the Eucharist. That's why it uses the same holy words. This is my body. But with the opposite blasphemous meaning.
Yeah.
Do you think it's a coincidence that the central phrase of the entire abortion industrial complex and the culture of death today are the same words of our Savior at the First Communion? This is my body.
This is my body. The abortion industry only thrives if we create and sustain a culture entirely centered around ourselves, where we can sacrifice others for our own convenience, where we do the opposite of what we are commanded to do, what Christ did for us, to lay down our life for others. This might be the most...
That's why we often say it's just Moloch worship or Baal worship, because that's what they were doing. They were sacrificing their children to that God so that they could live
the life that they wanted to. It's an idol, right?
That's crazy.
Literally an idol. You're sacrificing your child to the idol you want to live by, right? American Idol. I mean, I'm guilty of it,
right?
So I'm not saying it like pointing the finger at other people. I'm saying that I was a victim of this too, regretfully. But if you look and if you see it, like Jesus died, he said, "This is my body," right? That I give up for you,
right?
The communion, take it in remembrance of me. But and it's so crazy, like. They say, my body, my choice.
My choice, yeah.
This is my body. I can do what I want for me with it, right? It's the total opposite.
Right.
You can't, that's not love. That's the opposite of love. Because love lays down its life, But with this, even the fact that you're pregnant, you entered into something that wasn't love.
Yeah.
Right? Or you thought might have been love, but it wasn't love, right?
So do as thou wilt.
Do as thou wilt. Yep. All right. Let me let's wrap it up there. I'm gonna pull up this. We had someone email us, so we'll just answer their question live on here. It says, "Hey, I began watching The Chosen after you guys said it was cool to check out. I was wondering if you guys are still been tuning in after it's been receiving a lot of controversy for the past couple of years." I still watch it.
Yeah, I still watch it.
I gotta watch the latest season.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think you gotta take it for what it is.
Yeah,
like, it's not like everything is biblical, like to the T, but
yeah, it's giving you almost like a kind of practical interpretation in a sense of the real human aspect of what was happening at the time, mixed with the word at the same time. And it's good for me to like watch it with my kids. because it helps them connect with the stories more.
Yeah.
So then when we go to the Bible, it makes more sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, the controversy. I mean, for me, I feel like the controversy is always going to be there. No one's going to please everybody, because Christians always got to complain about something and find something wrong with it, and oh, but this one's a Mormon and that one, and but it's like, okay, but what is it doing though?
Yeah, right.
And then they wrote another random question: do you guys think that nocturnal emissions are somewhat demonic attacks? What are
nocturnal emissions?
Basically, like
wet dreams.
Yeah, wet dreams. Yeah.
Okay. Is that demonic?
I mean,
attacks?
I think it is.
I think it is too.
Yeah, I think it's definitely demonic in nature.
Yeah.
I've dealt with that with other people, and
I've never.
What did they mean though? Like a young boy going through puberty? What?
No, like people having wet dreams.
Yeah.
Like having
like you're having a dream about having intercourse, and then yeah. That's never happened to me. So
it's never happened to me.
Not as an adult.
That's never happened to me.
But but it has. I've heard it happen to other people.
Yeah.
Like I've talked to people that it's happened to.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think it's demonic in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can. It's like, I think people get afraid, of these things. Like, oh my God.
Talk about these things.
Or just
embarrassed.
Embarrassed
and
ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But no, these things happen, and you just got to deal with it.
Yeah.
And you bring it to God.
Mm-hmm.
And he can deal with it,
Yeah, I agree. So I hope that answered your question. Thank you guys for watching, man. We appreciate each and every one
can we
of you.
do that one, man?
Which one?
I just want to talk about, because it just I sent you two, but just one of them. The first one I sent you, it's a woman speaking.
Oh,
I thought it was very interesting because she's not a life coach, but a wife coach.
Okay.
And I haven't heard of that, like, and she's like biblically based,
Okay.
and she helps a lot of women kind of who are wives,
Okay.
right, deal with stuff. So I came across her page and I thought it was interesting what she said.
Am I supposed to tell my husband when he does something that hurts me? If your husband is spiritually suffering, you know that there are wounds that he is dealing with, traumas in his history. He is spiritually lost. You are fully aware of this. I do not encourage you to tell him that. And the world doesn't like it when I say this, because where's the accountability? But here's what I want for you to understand. When you express to your spouse that he has hurt you, you are either consciously or subconsciously expecting him to do something about it. Why else would you tell him, right? If I'm telling you that you hurt me, I am expecting an apology. I am expecting change behavior. You're likely not going to get either one of those things, which means you have now put yourself in a vulnerable position to be moved by the enemy of your soul. See, but you got to be able to see this stuff miles away. If I come to him and tell him that he hurt me, I subconsciously am looking for him to apologize or do something about the fact that he hurt me. But the reality is, hurt people hurt people. And so if this man is suffering from a soul wound, he's probably not going to do any of those things. And you are going to grow frustrated, annoyed, angered, all of those things. And now, if your feelings are on the throne of your life, the enemy is completely controlling you. Am I supposed to tell my...
Yeah, it is. I've never heard anyone explain it that way before.
Yeah, I think like a lot of times people expect like you said, if you're gonna say you hurt me,
yeah.
Well, first of all, that's kind of low because like you can be hurt anyway. Yeah. It could be honest, but shouldn't we allow for hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Especially in relationships of love, like pretty much it's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta know that this comes with the territory.
Mm-hmm.
So
to an extent, though, like
to an extent. I'm not saying, but it's you. What did you sign up for?
Right.
And I think a lot of times, even before that, we go into things like kind of
not weighing what we're signing up for.
Not really.
Yeah.
Very irresponsibly.
Yeah.
I get, we go into things.
Especially when we're young.
Yeah. But I believe that God can handle all that stuff, right? If two people are willing.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, like in the Bible, it says, love your enemy, right? It says, give, expecting nothing in return. That's hard to do for people.
Yep.
And in relationship, this is where we learn the fastest, especially in your marriage. You learn the fastest in relationship because you're challenged with loving people, right away. So the moment you're doing something and then expecting a response, you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah.
That's not real love.
Right.
Because love does not think of itself. It doesn't seek its own, right? 1 Corinthians 13. Love doesn't seek its own. So you seek the benefit of others. So if you expect, what are you putting your hope in? You know what I mean? But if you are putting your hope in who they are in Christ, then that's something you're going to have to work through over and over again. You know what I mean? And to me, that's like the greater hope. Like, how can I ever like really be hurt if I know who my wife is in Christ and I go to God and he becomes my love, right? That I can now give to my wife. I'm always going to see it from his perspective because I see her from his perspective. I don't go to my wife to see who my wife is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I go to God to see who my wife is, so then I can in turn love my wife through his eyes and not through her eyes or my own eyes of how I see her.
Right. Right. And going to her to reassure the image that you have.
Exactly.
Looking for that, trying to find that image again in what she tells you.
Right. Because then it's a false.
Yeah.
You're not really getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Because I'm either gonna define you by me, or I'm gonna define you based off of you that you're trying to define me to define you.
Right.
You know? So it's never you're never growing that.
That's why
it
just ends up being a fight all the time and a struggle. Yeah.
Yeah. But if we turn to God, like that's where you get this ability that you don't have on your own. One of our songs that we have is it's not out yet, but what's it called?
Where You Are.
No, not Where You Are.
What are we fighting for?
No.
Try.
Try.
Thank you. Won't do.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. It was just a process of elimination.
Well, in terms of like, because that's about relationship, right?
Okay. But they all kind of are.
Yeah, but I mean, this one is like literally about a husband and a wife.
Right.
And it's speaking about like that this love is bigger than the both of us, right? So it's always putting our hope in that love that causes us to go further and fight,
Yeah.
And those are the things that I love in terms of marriage and relationships. So seeing her and seeing what she said, like that actually kind of gave me hope because I'm looking and I'm like, oh, there's women out here that are holding women accountable, you know what I mean? And doing work to help women so that they can see things from the place of love, instead of a place of kind of rejection,
Yeah, man. That was good. Let's wrap it up there. I just saw that we had a bunch of comments from Stan on Rumble. Shout out to Stan. He said a lot of the crowd was with him as well. She's a socialist in brown skin. I know he's talking about Kamala. He said it came out after the DNA test was issued that Cooper was still guilty and still in jail. That was the
case that when Kamala was DA.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure people are afraid because the media is irresponsible and told people that Trump is Hitler. They pulled back on the Hitler title since Trump got shot. Yeah, they have stopped since he got shot, because you can't say he's Hitler but then come out and wish him well after he gets shot. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have both. So they had to step back from that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Sorry, Stan, we missed your comments. I gotta make sure I'm checking Rumble. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We had some people on YouTube too. You guys, he said, you guys must have forgotten that you're on YouTube too. Sorry.
Yeah.
Who is that? It says Junebug. Have you all ever watched Days of Noah? You might want to check out what he's got to say. You might want to consider reality peeping on. Oh, wait, there's more, right? Yeah. Somebody, sorry. We didn't catch you on YouTube. I'm sorry. But yeah, appreciate y'all. Anyway, thank you. Make sure you guys hit the like button, share the video. Also, don't forget we have a Patreon. If you want to support what we do, become a member, sign up, become a Young Lion, join the Pride, help us grow this community where we are trying to build up these type of conversations where we can hash out these things, like-minded individuals, even those like Donnie and those that we don't always agree with everybody, but you know, it's good to have these conversations so we can iron sharpens iron, hash out these ideas. And yeah, don't forget, if you want to get merch, go to our shop, jatan.com/shop. All of the links are in the description for that. And if you want to just throw a little meat to the lions, hit us on the Cash App, $YoungLionTV. Other than that, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next week. Oh, no, I won't be here next week. I'll be in Mexico.
Mexico, Mom too.
Yeah. So are we going to be off next week? I guess we'll be off next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see you guys in a couple weeks, man. Appreciate y'all. We'll
have fun on your vacation, guys.
Yeah. We'll drop some. I'll drop some videos and stuff from Mexico.
Can I go in somebody's luggage?
Yeah, man. It's gonna be a good time. Shout out to our people over in Mexico. See you guys next week. 2 weeks. Peace.
Young Lion, go live, yeah. Young Lion, you rich, yeah. This kingdom has room, yeah. Go and fight people in.